What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today's reaction video is 5 ways British and American families are very different. Obviously, yesterday you guys have heard the news now.
We are going to be a family.
We are going to be a family, which is awesome. And thank you so much for all the love and support we got yesterday. Look, the amount of comments we got from you legends just saying congrats and all your stories as well were absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
The live stream was fun as well yesterday. So thank you so much. You're absolute legends. We do just want to address as well. After we went off stream, there was, I think it was a tornado in Mississippi. We hope all you legends are okay. It seems absolutely awful. Nature's so devastating. We've been asked to react to some videos of it, but I feel like at the moment it's definitely too raw for us to do. We may do in the future just to get another feeling of it, but most importantly at the moment we hope you legends are okay, and hopefully our videos can bring you a little bit of joy if that's possible. You know what I mean? Yeah. And are you ready?
Yeah.
Smash the like button, guys. Smash the subscribe button. Let's get into 5 ways British and American families are very different. What we got?
Whoa, back up the truck, right? America has a bigger population. It has more households in general, so this makes sense.
Okay. What could that be?
Hello, I'm Lawrence, and I'm on a quest to uncover all of the memos that Britain and America lost in the pond, and one of those memos pertains to family. You know, there's an old saying in the English language, families, you can't live with them, and there are studies to back me up on that. But as I discussed recently with patrons on my secret stream, there are various nuanced differences between how family life plays out in Britain and America. And as I said to my patrons last Friday, I've experienced the best and the worst of both sides of the coin. And so today, at the risk of alienating everyone in my families, I'm going to lay out some of my observations. Here are 5 ways that British and American families are very different.
Yeah. What we got, Lawrence?
I'm not sure if it's because I've already seen the extra large size of America's roads and cars and land and grocery stores and everything. But my initial impression was that American family sizes were bigger than those of Britain. And, you know, if you don't believe me, watch the 1990 documentary Home Alone. It just felt like my wife's relatives were coming from all angles, you know, not in attack formation. It's not the 18th century. But their great numbers instilled in me this kind of belief that American households were on average made up of more people than your British equivalents. But was there any truth to this matter? It's not that British families don't have multiple children. I myself have 2 siblings. Well, it turns out there is no ignoring the facts. Over the last 10 years, the average number of person per UK household was between 2.3 and 2.4. In that same time period, the average number of people in an American household has roughly floated between 2.5 and 2.6.
I mean, I've got 7 in mine.
I was going to say, you had a lot in yours. I mean, yes, it's a tiny gap. Yeah. It's a tiny gap.
Yeah.
Pretty much between 2 and 3.
6 people. So that means that on average, American households have about 1/5 of a person more than British households, which is about the size of a leg.
Wow.
What's going on in America? Well, one thing that I've noticed that might accommodate this slight increase in family size is the relatively large size of American houses, which, as I pointed out in a video 2 years ago, are just bigger, which, you know, might account for these. My family might not be typical, but when I was growing up in Britain, we had parties at our house for 2 occasions, and those 2 occasions were Christmas and birthdays. For Christmas, it would just be a small gathering of humans that could fit inside our English living room. And for birthdays, and we're particularly talking about childhood birthdays, it would usually be about 6 kids, one of whom was inevitably thrown out for disruptive behaviour, forcing the other 5 to go on without me. And they'd all play Pass the Parcel, which is a game that I don't see too many Americans talking about, come to think of it. And that was about it for me.
Do you guys not know what Pass the Parcel is?
Pass the Parcel is so good. Oh.
Basically, when you're a kid, you put a toy, let's say a toy or a sweet or something like that. Normally the best prize is in the last one, isn't it? You wrap it up with a bit of wrapping paper on newspaper, sweetie or a little present, whatever you want to do. Wrap it up, sweetie, little present, wrap it up. Sometimes you put a decoy one in there, not thinking that. Wrap it up, sweetie, present, wrap it up, and you do however many layers you want.
Sit in a circle, you play some music, and you pass it around. If the music stops, you get to take off a layer. Yeah,
and you're meant to do the person's not looking, so it could be random. So you could win 5 times, but normally at kids' parties, people
they try to make sure that everybody gets.
I prefer the one where no one's looking, because that's just competition, isn't it? You've got to have the right speed. You know when to speed it up if you think it's going to be a while. Bit of intuition.
That's why you're not invited to kids' parties.
But in America, families will house huge parties for all manner of occasions. So 25 people will show up to Christmas meals, Thanksgiving meals, 4th of July stuff, birthdays, graduation open house parties. I did 3 of those in my first year, and I still don't know who those people are. And the one that really stands out for me personally is the welcome party that I was given. When I came to Indiana in 2007, I was just visiting, and I thought I'll meet the mum and the dad for the second time. I'll meet the brother and sister, maybe pet a dog or two. No, I got the whole works, as they say. There were aunts and uncles and granddads and grandmothers and cousins of cousins. And I know what you're thinking. Ooh, Lawrence, you're an introvert. That must have been hell. But here's the thing. One of the most challenging things about being an introvert is initiating the conversation. And because I couldn't get a word in edgeways, I didn't have to go through that. So everyone's a winner. A moment ago, I touched upon graduation.
On the cousin one, you can have like second and third cousins, can't you? So that's what I don't know
how
you get
cousin
them.
or cousin meant like, say your cousin from your dad's side.
Yeah.
That would be then her cousin from her dad's side would come.
Maybe. I don't know.
Like
yeah. But is that a second cousin then?
No, because they're not related to you.
I don't know.
A second cousin is your mum's cousin.
That's my second cousin.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So it's your mum's first
there
cousin.
You go.
It's your second cousin. So it'll be our baby's third cousin.
What's my third cousin?
Your grandma's cousin.
Wow, is that right? I'm assuming right because I get told off for not assuming
your mum's
right.
cousin.
Don't roast me.
Yeah, your mum's cousin is your second cousin, which will be our baby's third cousin.
There you go. I'm going to assume you're right, so I don't get roasted. And if by any chance, which I think you are 99% sure right.
No, I think I am.
People tell us different, but I think you are.
My mum said to me, "This is your second cousin because it's my cousin."
There you go.
I don't think it's a Jersey thing. I think it's worldwide.
I think it is as well. I agree.
House parties. What I didn't mention is that we do have graduation parties in the UK. It's just that the word graduation usually refers only to the commencement of university
we can have a meal for
college.
mine, didn't we?
Whereas in America, it seems like families will hold a graduation party for various levels of the educational pyramid. Okay. So I've celebrated everything from a distant cousin's graduation from elementary school all the way through to university. And it's all good. You normally give them a card with some money in it, even though you needed that yourself. And presumably they put it toward their first car, not the elementary kids. All the high school kids come to that. I don't know what they spend it on. All this to say that American families place a great deal of emphasis on the educational excellence of their kids. Now, I'm not saying this doesn't happen in Britain. Of course it does. I just think the idea of pushing their kids to excel academically is, generally speaking, more prominent in the United States.
That they celebrate
just apply
all the little things, because I feel like it makes, if you know that there's going to be a nice, like, not a reward, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It may make you push way through
Potentially.
it.
And like, it's an excuse to have a party, innit? So bring it on.
Yeah, so our kids having a party.
Why not?
Finishing reception.
Why not?
You turn.
Things like extracurricular activities. It seems like it's a really big thing here for kids to be on a sports team or to be in a band or to do, what was it called? Yes, colour guard. That's where you throw the sticks and the flags in the air and you catch them in ways that I can't even comprehend.
I've not seen that either.
And American families are super supportive of this. Many of them will go and watch their kids perform, and I've even been to a few myself. And what can you say at the end of such an event? Oh, your flag throwing skills were really impressive, presumably. I mean, I don't know the rules. The point is, whether we're talking about football or marching band or honour society, it seems to me that a kid's extracurricular activities play a larger role in the dynamics of an American family as opposed to a British one.
I do like that, though.
I sort of hate this bit because I don't have any data to back it up. It's just all feeling. So
that is a typical loss of a pond video, what we love to see. I don't have data.
But I would kind of agree. I don't think my mum came to any of my netball matches.
I suppose it depends who you are, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Not even not going to it. I think just it's more people actually doing it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big thing for people. I don't think parents actually came, really.
No, I think to be fair, I think the reason it's big in the US because there's this, from movies and stuff like that, there's this big emphasis on scholarships, stuff like paying for your college and like where
trying to get noticed so that you can get into places and
which there isn't that much of a big focus on that in the UK compared to what you see in the movies in the US. Yeah.
Let's talk about something for which I do have some numbers. One of my patrons, Jeff, asked me about multi-generational households. What's a multi-generational household, Lawrence? Well, typically speaking, it's a household in which 3 or more generations of family members live together. So it might be some grandparents, parents and kids. So an example of this would be Charlie Bucket's house in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. He lives with his mum and 4 grandparents who, frankly, aren't pulling their weight. But in each country, what percentage of households have this kind of multi-generational makeup? Well, in Britain, the Office for National Statistics suggests that 419,000 households are considered multi-generational.
That's quite a lot,
as a percentage of all the households in Britain, those account for about 1.5%.
I didn't think that way.
In America, it's about 4 million households. But whoa, back up the truck, right? America has a bigger population.
And bigger houses.
It has more households in general, so this makes sense. But even when you do account for that differential, 4 million households is nonetheless 3.2% of all American households.
But they got bigger houses as well, so you've got more space.
Makes sense.
Not as, could you imagine, 3 generations in like a typical England house?
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Good point. Very good point.
Your question, Jeff, is that it appears that American households are twice as likely to be multi-generational. What do we learn from that? I don't know, but it's an interesting fact.
It is interesting, isn't it?
And then there's the terminology, the titles that we use to describe a particular family member.
Dad.
And I don't just mean the word plonker. No, I'm talking about the American mom versus the British mum, or pops versus my old man.
I've never said my old man, but a lot of people
your dad
do. Yeah, I'd say my dad. I wouldn't say pops, but yeah, we don't say mom, do we? We say mum.
Mum.
Whereas both Britain and America might refer to their younger sibling as younger brother or younger sister, Americans might occasionally refer to that person as their kid brother or kid sister. In Britain, as with the US, you might hear your parent's parental figure be described as granddad, grandfather, or grandpa. But one word that I heard in the Midwest, and I gather is used in the South, is papaw or variant.
That's American, isn't it? That's
Similarly, in the UK, while we might refer to our parents' maternal figure as grandma, grandmother, nana, nan, in the US, you've got one or two other phrases. You've got Grammy, like the award. You've got grandma, grandmom, grams, and presumably in cahoots with papaw, you have mamaw. And that is it for this episode. Let me know in the comments below.
Yeah.
Papaw.
Yeah, thank you. I've not heard of that one before. I've heard of Papa, but I've not heard Mama before.
No, I've not heard that, no.
Smash the like button if you enjoyed, guys. Smash the subscribe button. We thought we'd do a little bit of fun because we obviously announced the start of our family yesterday and then we had a family video today. Like I say, we hope you guys are all safe as well with the Mississippi thing. Awful news, isn't it? But hopefully our videos have brought a tiny bit of joy if it can do. Smash the like button, guys. Smash the subscribe button and watch the video.
Have a fantastic day.
And we will see you, legends, in the next one. Peace.